So now that Mortal Kombat 1 has been out for a few weeks now, Mortal Kombat 11 obviously will not be played in tournament going forward. I mean, it might be like a side game at a future tournament, but like Evo-wise, this game is not going to be played anymore. And Mortal Kombat 11 is a game that I have a very love-hate relationship with. Earlier on my channel, I made a video talking about how much I love Skarlet in this game. Skarlet is still my favorite character in this game. I played a few others like Mileena, Kitana, I played Sub-Zero sometimes, Liu Kang. I really enjoyed playing Spawn as well. But Skarlet was my go-to character in this game. And I loved Skarlet. Skarlet was a keep-away character, or rather she is a keep-away character. And Mortal Kombat X was a game that I absolutely loved. 11 is a game that is much more grounded in terms of how it plays. And I understand and respect NetherRealms for deciding to switch up how the game plays. By the way, these filters that I edit in, like right here, those are just filters that I'm putting in just to help this video stay, or rather, help it not to get age restricted, if that makes sense. But this game was much more grounded in terms of gameplay. It introduced a couple of new mechanics, such as the fatal blows, replacing the X-ray system. It introduced the crushing blow mechanics that I still don't like. And then it introduced the breakaway system, the offensive and defensive meters, which replace sort of the combo breaker and stuff like that. And plus the arena interactables, which were in Mortal Kombat X. I believe they were in the 2 Injustice games as well. I don't know if 9 ever had them. I don't think 9 ever did. But the offensive and defensive meters took place of that mechanic. By the way, absolutely my favorite Kitana design. Absolutely my favorite. The Edenian blue skin for Kitana. Kitana had some good skins in this game, like she really did. By the way, my favorite crushing blow too, because it's so goofy. So the crushing blows were attacks that had particular properties. Like if you hit this attack under a certain circumstance, for example, this one attack, like Mileena had like one of her combos, if the last hit of the combo was either the 7th hit or more, it would do like an extra 15% damage or whatever. Sub-Zero had his Ice Slide, where if he meter burned it 3 times in a single match, the 4th time it would be a crushing blow, and it would do like an additional 15 damage or whatever. I think Liu Kang's bicycle kick was also similar to that. This meant that Sub-Zero would sit there and farm those 3 ice slides, meter burn ice slides as much as he could, and then he would save the 4th ice slide for the final round if he could. Liu Kang would do the same thing. So this meant that some characters could get 2 or 3 crushing blows in a single round just because they were saving it up. And I didn't like the crushing blow mechanic. I really didn't. You know, Spawn and like Skarlet were the only characters that I really enjoyed. Kitana was really cool. As I said, you know, Sub-Zero was cool, a little bit easy to play, but you know, he was cool. Mileena was also really fun. She was kind of low mid-tier, but she was fun too. But I just wasn't a big fan of the crushing blow system, especially if you punished an opponent like with an uppercut, it would do 30 damage, and then characters like Mileena can do ridiculous amounts of damage outside of that. Not just Mileena, but basically everybody can. Like, for example, that Spawn combo that did like 40% off of a crushing blow uppercut. But my least favorite mechanic in this game, the fatal blows, whatever, I can handle that. Crushing blows, I didn't like, but that's just how the game was. And plus, I utilized Skarlet's crushing blows, and Mileena's especially whenever I could. That's just how the game is. Whatever, no big deal. I got used to the crushing blows. I'm glad 1 doesn't have them. The breakaway system was the only mechanic I just despised. I despised it. So in order to perform a breakaway, which as I said earlier, replaced the combo breaker, you had to hold block and down in mid-air. Meaning that if you want to wake up with a crouch block, you've got to wait until you touch the floor, which no big deal, right? But it took both meters of offensive gauge. Oh, so I think it was the defensive one. But you also used the defensive meter to do like arena interactives. You could do like a flawless block attack with it. You could do like a get-up roll, stuff like that, like an enhanced wake-up attack. So just some other defensive options that this game had. But my big problem with the breakaway system is that it wasn't like a combo breaker where it forces your opponent full screen, right? Like it did in 9, X, and it does in 1. The breakaway in this game just gave you armor and forced you to the ground. Your opponent could still attack you during a breakaway. And I thought it was a little ridiculous that if you're being juggled in a corner and you have maybe 6 health left and then you use the breakaway, just one more attack and you're dead. I just thought it was so strange, especially for a move that does, or rather a mechanic that takes both bars of your defensive meter. You get punished for using a defensive option. I just thought that was a little weird. And Mortal Kombat 11, despite being more grounded, more neutral focus, I guess, than well, the older games had these really big corner juggle combos, like Mortal Kombat X especially. 11 really didn't have that, but you still had a handful of characters who could do 40% damage, like Fujin, very easily. So it still just was a very, very heavy combo-based game. But I didn't like the breakaway system, and even sometimes you could get punished for using the breakaway. And I just thought that was so strange. Like, Skarlet could just straight up grab you out of your breakaway, if I remember correctly. I think I've done it before. And I just thought it was so strange. Like, I get it. Sometimes you can bait your opponent into performing like a breakaway, kind of like burst baiting in Guilty Gear. But that's a little different, right? I just thought it was kind of strange that you get punished for a defensive option. Look at this really big damage combo. So crushing blow, uppercut, and then do the ball roll, meter burn it, and then that into a crushing blow does about 47% damage. But as I said, I just thought it was so strange that if you performed a breakaway, you're not safe. You might have armor, it might force you to the ground, but you are not safe. Because some characters can perform like a full combo on you after a breakaway is performed. And I just thought that was so ridiculous. I mean, if there was a good amount of knockback after the crushing blow was performed, no big deal, right? But even in a breakaway, you weren't safe. Now, I have a lot of complaints about the breakaway system. I despise it. That's just the game. That's just how it is, right? I got used to it. I got accustomed to it. That's what you're supposed to do. But oh my God, did I hate it. I just hated it. And also, since I played Skarlet in this game, she was incredibly weak if your opponent had 2 defensive bars. So a lot of characters in this game, such as Frost, Johnny Cage, they can do, like Jackie in some instances, they can do standing combos. So if they keep you grounded, they don't launch you. You can't do a breakaway if you're not in the air, right? Skarlet has to launch you. She has to get her big damaging combos. And what you could do if you did like her 2-1-2, which is like triangle, square, triangle, and then like you launched your opponent in the air, they could just immediately perform a breakaway. And if you did like her circle, circle attack, obviously, your opponent recovers before Skarlet does, and if they uppercut her, it does a crushing blow, and they can do big, giant damage off of it. So as a Skarlet main, it really, really pains me that Skarlet is a weak character when it comes to competitive play. But Skarlet's very flawed, but I played her anyway. But thankfully, a character like Frost, who I also played, could just kind of keep you grounded the entire time. I could get into all this breakaway stuff. I hate the breakaway system. I hate it, and I'm so glad 1 doesn't have it. They brought back combo breakers, which is a great thing. But I'll make this quick about the fatal blows. The fatal blow system was okay. They kind of went the Tekken route, where, oh, your health is 30% or lower. Here's a big super you can do. And it replaced with the X-ray system, and you can do it once per match, and once you hit it, you can't use it again. Now, when it comes to fatal blows, I didn't hate the fatal blow mechanic. I thought it was kind of interesting because NetherRealms went the Tekken route, where if your health is 30% or below, you can perform a fatal blow. And yeah, it's fine. I mean, you're only allowed to perform it once per match. If you miss a fatal blow, or if you whiff, or it's blocked, or whatever it might be, you have to wait like 10 seconds or so for it to regenerate. But I thought the fatal blow system was kind of cool. It's really just like, oh, you're losing, well, here's a fatal blow. But then again, in 9 and X, you had to have 3 bars of meter to perform your X-ray. 1 bar was enhanced, 2 bars was a combo breaker, 3 bars was an X-ray. And Skarlet, her fatal blow was a grab. Hers was a throw. If I'm not mistaken, she was the only one who had a throw as her fatal blow. And it was armored, right? So you couldn't jab out of it, you couldn't hit her out of it. It was really great, and she could grab you out of your fatal blow, she could grab you out of an armored attack, because it was a throw, right? Throws break armor in 11. So Skarlet had a really, really good fatal blow. It was really consistent. She could combo into it, she could punish you with it, I mean, all that good stuff. And it was longer than her throw range, too. But as I said, though, I'm fine with the fatal blow mechanic. I'm fine with it, it's no big deal. I mean, a lot of times in X, characters just wouldn't even perform their super. Like Alien. Alien would just never perform a super because it didn't need to. Just acid spit, acid spit, acid spit, right? So I'm fine with it. Here's the goofiest crushing blow in the game, and I'll leave you with that, I guess.